Oh crap. Hello?
Oh,
Okay, just making sure I can hear you.
yeah, yeah. No, I'm just not talking yet. So yeah, Jared, do you want to share a little bit? Are you currently investing in stocks or?
Yes, last year was a good year. I had
Mhm.
Tesla early on,
Oh wow.
at like five something, $500. This was after the stock market crash. I had got a couple shares at 500, and I think
Mm-hmm.
by the year's end, I made like because I kept dipping in and out. Yeah, so I'm one of those guys. I didn't stay in it consistently, but anyway,
Yeah.
by the year's end, I made like 12,000 on it.
Oh wow. That's good.
Yeah,
On Tesla, right?
yeah, just Tesla alone, and then
Oh yeah.
Workhorse, I did another 2,000, something like that.
hmm
Yeah,
Did you stick during the split of Tesla?
that's when I got out around that
Oh,
time.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Before or after the split?
Uh, Shortly after.
Shortly
I know,
after.
and then
hmm
yeah, but I went back in again in January,
Okay.
thinking it was gonna skyrocket again, but it's
hmm
now I'm losing. I'm on a losing end now.
Oh, is it? I haven't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I want to see about picking the stocks to learn more about. You know, picking the
hmm
stocks. I
Yeah,
also
yeah, yeah.
tried Bumble's IPO. That hasn't been done well for me either.
Which one?
Bumble, the dating app.
Oh,
B
oh, I didn't
and
know they went public. Yeah.
yeah. So I
When
did
when that
that.
happened? Oh yeah, it's February, right?
Um,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
hmm
So I had
Yeah.
Tesla, Bumble, and something else. What was the other one? Can't remember right now what it is, but I
hmm
should log into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think IPOs, it's always a bit like there is always that risk because I find
Yeah.
that there was the Coinbase IPO few
Oh yes,
weeks ago.
Coinbase. That's the other one. That's the other one.
Yeah,
Coinbase.
exactly. So yeah, so when we took a look at it after we just saw that people actually wanted to get out of the investment, right? So every early investors that bought Coinbase actually wanted to get out. So that was the reason to put the company public because they actually didn't need money, right? They were just making enough, but it's a good way to make investors going out.
Yeah. Yeah.
hmm
Yeah. When the IPO first comes on the market, the people that were
hmm
in early they get out, so it goes up and then it comes right down.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
then you have to wait for it to like settle. I
yeah,
keep doing it. I
exactly.
don't know. Yeah, wait
Oh
for it
yeah,
to settle before you jump in. Anyway.
oh yeah. I always try to avoid IPOs. I just prefer to, yeah, just wait maybe a few days, weeks, see how it is. And once it's more stable, then uh, I enter a position.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, Emmanuel.
Hey Bryce, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Pretty good.
You happy? Ethereum 3000?
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I'm uh,
that's good.
I'm actually looking for a pullback. It should pull back a little bit now. Uh, at least to some to 2800 and then continue maybe.
You said 228? Let's see.
No,
Oh, yeah,
28.
Ethereum.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Down to
Yeah,
Hmm.
this is what it just did. It just hit the 1.668.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe
So
it's gonna pull back a little bit.
yeah, I was waiting for it to break that resistance. So after that, I
Oh,
was quite bullish on it
uh,
because they have like a nice chart. You see, like it's kind of like the same level. So when I see that, usually I just see that it's really bouncing well.
mm,
And yeah, it was a great opportunity. I think I put more around that yellow arrow or something.
oh,
But yeah.
yeah. Ethereum has a kind of a really easy rhythm. Like it's easy,
Hmm.
really easy to follow.
Yeah, exactly. I like those ones. There is also Bitcoin Cash, right? Oh, is it? Yeah, this one. I think I
Mhm.
saw that today, and it seems to be like, yeah, you see all of like the support resistance. Like here, there is a good support that once it's bounced from there, you can just expect after that, if it passes there, then it's gonna go even higher.
Mm. For this one for the Bitcoin Cash, is it Bitcoin Cash
Hmm.
or Litecoin? This is Litecoin, right?
This one is Litecoin. Litecoin has a nice chart too, but
Mm.
yeah, this one is Bitcoin Cash.
Well,
And
is there anything like Bitcoin itself? You getting for a ride? Huh?
in, that what? Sorry?
Because I know I said if there anything like Bitcoin themselves, Ethereum is you in for a ride. Huh?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
got in.
exactly.
I got in Bitcoin at 12,000. Rode it up to like 40 something, and then it dipped, and I jumped out. I couldn't.
Oh
I
yeah.
couldn't. My heart couldn't take it.
Yeah, makes sense.
um,
All right, that's good. So we're gonna be able to start. Um, so yeah, so today we're gonna talk about different ways to basically filter stocks. And the main thing is that we all know there is so many stocks, right? So it's always super tough to know which one to take. But the first thing to know is that every time we're picking stocks, it always goes with your strategy, right? So if you're a long-term investor, short-term investor, then like there is different things that you want to look at, right? And you're going to analyze stocks in a different way. But one thing that I guess Emmanuel is going to go over, it's a really interesting tool that we use to always find some good stocks. And that's really when you're looking for new stocks to look at, right? So sometimes there are stocks that you follow because you maybe you like them, you know a lot about the company. But when sometimes you're looking for new opportunity, it's always great to be able to filter them according to our strategy, right? So yeah, Manuel.
All right, thank you very much, Bryce. Um, yeah. So as Bryce just said, there when it comes to investing, there is a lot of strategies and a lot of goals and purpose that you need to put in mind before taking any position. Um, so today, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to share with you one of the strategies that I use to find some stocks that are about to do some pretty good moves. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen.
Just guys, if you have any questions as well, you can write them in the chat or you can raise your hand.
You guys can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, so we're gonna be using FinViz, and we'll be using FinViz. We're also gonna use iborrowdesk.com and highshortinterest.com. Let me just send these in the team. Yeah, Bryce, can you send them? Yes, sir. All right. So when it comes to FinViz, um, depending on your other filters that you're gonna use. For example, if you don't want to invest in a company that has, for example, less than $1 billion in market cap, you can add that filter here on FinViz when you're doing your filtering. Now, one of the additional things that I want you to add in your filter when you are triaging your stocks is the float short. What the float short is, it's actually the number of stock that are taken on a short position by different companies. So it's usually institutions that are shorting a company if they believe that this company won't be that profitable in the next coming years or months, they may take a short position on that company. Now you can see a float short of that company by just going on a Finviz screener, and then you choose on the filter float short. So here you can see if they say, for example, 10%, under 10%, or over 10%, over 10%, under 10%, that means 10% of the outstanding shares are held or are owned by an institution as a short position. So they are shares that have been borrowed by an institution as a short position. Now, for example, one thing that you want to look at now will be like if you see that there, for example, over 30% of the stocks, they are in a short position, or they are held by a company in a short position, that what that will definitely tell you is that there is a lot of short position on this company. Now, another thing that you can add now to have a better look is
Just
number.
sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, just to make sure that I understand clearly, because you said there is the float short, and basically you see that people on the market are shorting the stock, right?
Yeah.
So, are you seeing that as a buy signal or?
Oh, yeah. So what happens is when somebody short a stock, they short it because they believe. So when they short it, is they borrow the stock from the broker, and they're selling it, and they're gonna have to buy it at the end. So usually this is a strategy to find a short squeeze. What's going to happen is that when they all going to have enough profit and they want to get out of that position, they will have to buy a lot of shares. So now what you're going to be looking at is you're going to look at a reversal pattern on the chart. First of all, you know that there is a lot of short position, and then you can also add another thing is you can look at the float. This float here is different than the float short. The float short gives you the ratio. The float tells you the number of shares that are outstanding. By float, the number of shares that's so float is the number of shares that are left to be sold. Yeah, that's how I should say it. Number of shares that are left to be sold. Shares outstanding is the total number of shares that are on the market, that the company is offering. Float is the number of shares that are left to be sold. So now another thing that you can look at if we have under 20 million shares outstanding. So for a company, for example, that has 100 million shares outstanding, and now you have only 20 million shares that are left on the market, what this tells you is that 80% of those shares are owned by somebody else. And if you have the float short that is over 30%, it also tells you that many of those shares that are held by somebody else, they are borrowed. They are shares that have been borrowed. So they're gonna have to buy this 20, which is a low supply. They're gonna have to buy from this 20 in order to fulfill those orders. This is how people even find um, uh, GME. GME had a float short of over 120%. So people were shorting more than the outstanding shares of the company. And
Mhm.
yeah, so by just using this, and then you add additional filter. I'm just going to add one of the filter that I use also is, for example, a double. double bottom. So we go here on technical analysis, and then you add another filter here. Just a second. Patterns, double bottom. Right now we don't have any. Let me just I'm just gonna reduce. Okay, so here you go. Right now what I just did is I put the float short to over 10%. This is not so great. Let me put it to 20. Okay, so I put the float short over 20%, and then I have a pattern of double bottom. Double top bottom is a reversal pattern, and then we only have 20 under 20 million shares out that are still outstanding on the market.
One
So
thing, Emmanuel, can you explain what is the double bottom?
yeah, so the double bottom is one of the market or chart price patterns that are usually that is usually considered as a reversal pattern. So as you can see here, the price was going down, 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 and then it hit this level here. It went up a little bit, and then it went back again to this level here, and then it went back up. Now, this here tells you that there is a possibility of a reversal pattern here. The market or the price won't be going down anymore, but instead it's gonna go, it's gonna be going up. The same thing happens for if the market was bullish and you see a double top, that usually tells you that the market is about to go down. So yeah, there is this, there is a head and shoulder, reversed head and shoulder, but yeah, this is one of them that you can use, and it's I've been using it a lot, and it's really really great. So this one, for example, as you can see right now here, this was the double top, and this was a kind of a confirmation of the reversal. It kind of came back to this level here, and it looks like it's failing to go lower than that. This candle here is failing to go lower than that. So what I can just wait for is for this one. I can either enter here, or I can wait for it to break this level, and boom, we're gonna wait for it to go back to 13 and then 16 and so forth. So yeah, those are the few things that you can use. Now, in terms of iBorrow Desk, this is also another tool that I use a lot in order to find companies that are companies that are about to that are not so great to be sold. So for example, what you see here is that you see the fees that the broker is charging in order for somebody to take a short position. So this is also something really, really good. So for example, BCEI, what the fees tells you, 300%. So this is really, really bad. Like, in order to short this company, you're gonna have to pay the broker 300% of the money that you're gonna borrow, the stock that you're gonna borrow. So for you to even break even, the stock has to lose about so yeah, what you're gonna borrow has to be more than 400%, which is really ridiculous. So now what you do now is when you find your stock here, INVZ, you go here and you look at the fees. Okay, so yeah, right now what we can see here, the fees were about 20% in on April 20th, the fees were about 60%. No, the fee were about 23%. And then it went to 20. What? Yeah, this is not reading well. But anyways, so yeah, the fee were about 23, and then now the fees are going up. What this also tells you, so usually what happens is when you are borrowing money, you don't wanna pay a lot of interest, right? So you will be borrowing that stock as long as the fees are not too high. As soon as the fees are becoming very high, you see that break even level is becoming a little bit harder to achieve. So what you're going to want to do is liquidate that position and get a better position, right? So this is also something that you're going to add now to be confident about your position. Now we see that the fees are increasing right now. It was at 23%. Now it's at 100%, which means these guys now they have to pay more to keep their position. So they're gonna be looking at ways to definitely liquidate those position. And in order to liquidate those position, they wanna have to buy the stock. And by buying the stock, if you got in before, then the price goes up for you, and boom, you make your profit. So yeah, this is what you can also use to increase your confidence. What you look at is you look at the fees. Are the fees increasing? Has the fees been increasing? If the fees are still so low, like if the fees were still low like this, 14%, then yeah, it's not so bad for them. They are still looking. If they do a 50% down, then great. Their profit is 30%. But right now the fees are kind of increasing. All right. Another thing.
So just to know, basically we can do that for any stocks, right? So I can just take any stocks and take a look here and see basically if the fees are increasing as well. And is
Yeah.
it the strategy I can use instead of going to Finviz first, just to know, yeah, like Tesla?
Mm. So the reason why you want to go to Finviz first is to figure out to find out the stock that you want to look at first, right? Um, or another thing that you can do is go to highshortinterest.com. This one will definitely tell you now. It automatically tell you the interest, and it tells you the float or the outstanding shares, the float shares and outstanding shares. So you can compare it from here. But I usually use Finviz because it gives me the graphic too. But yeah, you can use uh, highshortinterest.com to see the short interest rate and the float as well as the outstanding shares. And then yeah, if you want to see the graph, you can go to TradingView. But yeah, so logically, that is one of the strategy that I use a lot. Uh, it's usually more for short term. I don't I don't do a lot of research on those companies. The only thing that I look at is the fundamentals. How many shares do we have of that stock? How many are still on the market? How many are floating? And then the interest rate and the technical analysis.
Hmm.
Pretty simple.
There is a question from Josh. You can turn on your microphone, Josh.
Hey, Tunde, question for you.
Mm,
Let's say, I want to do, I'm more into the day trading and, you know, it, I want to be able to find like a trending stock.
mm.
What indicators or so would I be using to look for this stock, which, hey, I want to maybe trade it for today and then hop out end of day or midday? What sort of signals would I be looking at? Would it be um, the the market cap, the volume, like what quick indicators I be able to get in and get out?
Okay. Um, so when it comes to day trading, yes, of course, it is very important to know the stock that you want to trade because, yeah, because of course, the more money there is in the markets, the easier it's gonna be for you to get in and get out, and of course, the more movement or volatility will be in the market. So it's kind of not so easy to find those stock. Like it's not easy to find, like, to filter the stock that is like very popular right now. One of the website that I use is I still remember this. Just a second. we have that robot from Monica in our group, which is that robot does actually. It tells you the stocks that are talked the most in Discord groups. So that is one of the ways that you can know about the the stock that is trending right now. Is it's going to be talked a lot by other traders. The more
Just
traders are talking about it.
sorry, just one thing I want to say about that. So the robot that Emmanuel is talking about, it's a bot that is in the Telegram chat, and there is Monica from our group that is sending the top stocks every morning from, and it's from a bot basically. So that's what Emmanuel was just mentioning.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah. So as I was saying, what it tells you, the way you can know that is by seeing many people talking about it. So as many people are talking about it, as many trader will be in the market about that particular stock. Now, one of the the platform that I use for trending, I use this stock tweet. It tells you exactly the trending companies that are trending right now. Okay. So now this tells you what is trending right now, but you still have to do your own research. So for example, right now we see PFE, ISN. So when you get that company, now you go on trending on either FinViz or trending or trading view, and then you look at what. So you look at the market, you look at the chart. ISN. Let me just yeah. So we see this one was trending. It was trending today, and this is what it did. This was a really really big move. So let's say for example you just saw that company and it was still about at $6. So what you would do is definitely just like look at, depending on your trading style or strategies, you're going to look at the market and see, okay, so if this is trending, what information is going on about this company, what exactly is going on about this company. You're going to do your quick research here and see if there is some news. So I'm just I'm just
Just
scrolling
so
back.
every,
This is
yeah, just so everyone knows, there is a lot of noise also on Stock Tweet. So we kind of like need to take kind of an overview of what people are saying.
yeah. So yeah, it looks like they had the Q1 result. So stock tweet is just like a chat like a platform where people put their comment about different stocks. And so what I'm doing right now is just like going over there to try to figure out what is going on and what made that stock to bump like that. And yeah, you're gonna see a lot of people talking about it, and then you're gonna just have to read and figure out if you can find exactly what is happening. If not, you can just do your technical analysis. You can just do your technical analysis or look at the fundamentals, uh, and then yeah, and then decide from there what position you want to take, right? So it's not really like it's not really like saying people are talking about one company and just go and jump into that company. You might be late. You might be in the wrong direction, or they might be looking at a way to short that company. Like yesterday, for example, my friend had a problem with Polkadot. They sent him about like $8 million in his wallet, and a lot of people were talking about that. So we were hoping for Polkadot to go down, but it didn't go down. So you need to the information is there and it's trending on the market on Twitter, but you still have to analyze, okay, is this really going down or what's going to happen? So yeah, when you get information, or when you want to day trade, you get the trending company, and then you do a little bit of research and you do your technical analysis. Most of the time is usually the technical analysis that's going to help you a lot, and at least a little bit of research to know what direction the market going to be going. If the market is if the information or the fundamental information that you got or the news is bullish about that company, then you're gonna do your technical analysis with a bullish eye or a bullish perspective by looking at bullish entries or long positions.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So in terms of technical analysis, can you explain a bit like what do you mean? For instance, if you have a stock like this one, how would you go about it in terms of technical?
Okay. So let me go to trading view. Just ISNS. So what you're gonna do is ISNS. So this is a daily. You go down to the 4 hour. You look at what the market has been doing. This just a second. Okay, so if we got this earlier, so let's say you got this information when the market was about here. Let's say you got it here when the market was about here. Okay. And depending on what information you got, so from what you can see here, it's not really a great data because um, this is stocks are not always really great to day trade. You need to have there are software that you need to pay for to get like ticker a good data for every stock. But the most traded one, they have good data. But this is kind of a new one, not new, but it just doesn't have a lot of data. So you look at the market like this, and depending on what you got, if you think it's gonna be bullish, you try to analyze like what is the market like right now. So from what I can see here, um, this market has been a little. So it was here, it went up, it fell to break this level here. It did a reversal here, and then it fell to go lower than this level here, which is still above the other one. So we can say that the uptrend was still consistent, and now it was going up by keeping this level. It was keeping up above the moving averages. Everyone can see what I see, right? So now if you get it around here, you see that it just tested this level, right? And then, so let's say, for example, you get it here, it just tested this level. What you want to do, you cannot, personally, I wouldn't get in here at this level because, because this level was like a resistance and it just fell to break it. So I would wait maybe for a pullback around the moving average. So we didn't get a pullback to the moving average, but what happened is after that, it broke this level. It broke this level here, right here, and then it kept above the line, above the level, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, it kept above the level, and then actually it broke the level here, and then came back to this level, retested the level right here. So when the market retests a level, a support level, and then push back from that support level, that is actually a good confirmation again for the reversal or the continuation of the trend. So when it tested this level again, I would definitely enter around here. And yeah, what happened after that was a continuation of the bull run. But yeah, so when you get it, you don't just jump into it. You try to analyze This is really bad as a data. I think depending on your broker, you can get a better data with the broker. I'm pretty sure Questrade has a better data on this, but yeah. So yeah,
Hmm.
when you get it, you don't just jump in, but you try to do some analysis. This
Hmm.
one, it was definitely following the moving average until it broke this level here, which was a resistance level, and then it came back to that level right here. We tested it and did the reversal again and continued to go up. So yeah,
Hmm.
I would get in around here or at the close, either here or in the middle of this candle, and then yeah, just write it depending on the target now. So you could do something like this to determine where you're gonna get out from. I would do something like this. Yeah, this was really crazy. Like if I got in here, around here, I would get out probably around 7.6 or maximum this level here. Like this is really huge. It just hit three levels, like 300% of the previous move in one day. This is yeah, this is really a really strong bullish, and it's probably gonna come back to, let me see. Yeah, it's probably gonna come back to
Hmm.
8, 9, or 7.
All right, that's good. There is a question from Melissa. So she's asking, she's a beginner, and basically she would like to know where she can get more in depth for technical analysis.
All right. So yeah, we'll be talking about technical analysis in our training. We have a workshop coming on soon. Um, we'll be talking about technical analysis, and yeah, and also we have some one-on-one service that we offer if you need like a really long-term coaching one-on-one service. We can try to help you out to understand this. But yeah, and
Yeah.
we have a lot of trainings already on our YouTube channel where we talked about the
Mhm.
indicators, uh, Fibonacci. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So if you go on our website, I'm just going to share it right now. So you can get a lot like all of our previous meetings. We talked about different indicators. I remember we did one about the RSI, one about moving average, I think. But I would strongly suggest to during the workshop, basically, we're going to go over all of that. And it's going to be 2 hours workshop for stocks. And there is also a 2 hours if you're interested in investing in cryptocurrencies. It's going to be on another day, but this weekend it's going to be about stocks. So going over everything that Emmanuel just did, like all the moving averages, as he was mentioning, and how to basically, yeah, I'll do all of those retracement to see what is a good entry point and if you want to purchase a stock. So yeah, thank you, Emmanuel. Thanks for that. It was really, really great.
No
And
problem.
I also shared everything in the chat. So all of the website, Finviz, iBurrow Desk, and High Short Interest. So you can yeah go on the website if you want to have more information about all of that. And I'm gonna post the recording later this week. So yeah, thank you again, Emmanuel.
No
And
problem.
yeah,
Thanks everyone for coming again.
wow.
Yeah, I hope this is going to help you in your investment journey. Yeah,
Mhm.
don't hesitate to ask us any questions in the group.
Yeah, there is actually like maybe a last question that we can take
Uh,
from Julian.
yes,
Yeah.
sir. Can you tell me the website I can go to look at it? Can you tell the name because I haven't seen you writing it down. If you say it, I can go on the website right now.
Okay, sorry, which website, just to make sure?
You said we can go on a website and your website to learn more.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So if you go on knowwealth.ca, you can
Can you
get,
spell it, please?
yeah, it's
Oh, okay.
KNOWWEALTH, knowwealth.ca.
WEALTH.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So you can get all the
Okay.
information about the upcoming workshops and the previous meetings we did also.
Uh, you say KNOWEALTH?
KNOWWELTH.
Oh, do W. Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
WWEALTH. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I have one last question.
Yes.
What is the do Emmanuel Tunda have a Twitter account?
I do have Twitter, but I do not use it a lot. I just use it to follow some other account about crypto news.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can reach me
But
directly via
Facebook,
WhatsApp, Telegram.
Instagram?
Are you on Telegram? We have
Yes.
a Telegram chat. So if you found the event on Meetup there is the
Mm-hmm.
link to the Telegram chat. So once you have time, you can just go and join on that link. So basically, you can ask
Okay.
any questions also to Emmanuel directly.
Okay.
Hmm.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much, guys.
There
Thank you.
was a question from Julian. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, this is my first class with you guys, and I came in at the tail end of when you guys were talking about the float.
Mhm.
Um, I wanted to understand a little bit more. If you could just explain quickly what that means to a stock, both good, positive, and negative, and how it works.
Okay. Yes. So when for a company, let's say for example, a company has 100 shares,
Mm,
and then other people have bought already 80 shares. The 20 shares that are left are called float.
okay.
So float means the number of shares that are left on the market for like they are left outstanding for the company to sell.
Okay.
Yeah. Now the float interest will tell you from those 80 shares that are already owned by some people, how many of those are owned but they were borrowed by somebody. So they're not really owned, but it's they borrowed the shares from the broker in order to sell them. They're gonna tell you the ratio. If there is let's say for example, people borrowed 80 shares, but there is only 20 shares left. So that is like 80% of the shares are borrowed and they are not actually owned. So for those people to buy, they're gonna have to buy the 20 that are left.
Mm.
Yeah. Or they're gonna have to buy from you if you had that stock.
And then what does that mean to the price of the stock? Does it then go up if they have to buy the other 20? Like, how does that work? Yeah.
Yeah, so you know how it's the same logic, supply and demand. If the supply is low and the demand is high, then the price will increase.
Mm.
Yeah. So when the float is low compared to the total outstanding shares, that is pretty good because first of all, a lot of people own that company and they don't want to sell it,
Mm.
and also the few stocks that are left, we're just waiting for a high demand for those stocks to increase in price, and as soon as they increase in price, the stock that you own to gonna increase in price.
Okay, that made sense. I do a little bit more research on that. I'm getting there. I'm close to it. So the float interests,
Yeah,
you have to keep your eye on that.
float short and
Float short.
yeah, float short and borrowing interest or short interest is how much money you pay as an interest to the broker when you borrow a stock from them.
Mm.
When you borrow money from a bank, you pay them interest. It's the same thing with brokers. If you borrow a stock from me, you're gonna pay me an interest for that on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's cool. This was a great class, man. Yeah, I hope to keep up with you guys, going forward, man. I appreciate it.
No
Thank you.
problem.
Yeah, every Monday we have that. And we also have this Wednesday, we have a meeting about cryptocurrencies. So if you
Okay.
want to join as well, yeah.
Oh, one last thing, not for right now, but maybe down the line or in the future, if you guys want to talk about it. I had a question about a particular company that I think should be on the cusp of some kind of a breakout, but for some reason it's still all the way down. Have you guys looked at Nokia?
What is
And
it called?
okay, Nokia.
Nokia?
Yeah, it's at 5 right now, but I mean they're like at the center of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Emmanuel just maybe had an issue. You can, yeah, sorry, keep going.
yeah, he had they're at the center of 5G,
Okay.
and so I
What
was
is
wondering
what
Nokia.
is the no Nokia, like Nokia like
Yeah,
this?
yeah,
Okay. And
N O
which one?
NOKI. The one for US is NOK.
NOK. Okay, the one in the US. Okay, it's this one, right?
Is that the one at 5? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And you
almost at
said
5.
that yeah, you said
Yeah,
that they had a great news, right?
well, they're at the center. They've been had great news, but just for some
Mm-hmm.
reason are not taking off like it should.
Mm-hmm.
It's been at 5, and I wonder what if you guys looked at the company evaluation and see why it's not
Mm-hmm.
taking off for some reason.
Yeah, I would like to take a bit more look in depth for the company valuation, but it looks like on the technical, what is great is that there is this line which is the support.
Mm,
You see that the price is bouncing, right? So
yeah.
it's always around there, which is great in a sense that we feel that it cannot really go lower than that, right?
Hmm.
So if I'm zooming in a little bit, normally, yeah, here you see a bit clearly. And me, I like to trade with the moving averages. So the moving averages, you see this orange line that is moving across the blue line, right?
Yeah.
So it's great when you see it over, basically. So it's kind of like a bullish indicator showing that it might eventually stay on top of the blue line, right? So it looks like, yeah, as Emmanuel was talking about, the data might not be the best data, but at the same time, I can see that they are really on a support, right? So they might probably raise from that. And always take a look at this, the RSI, which is when it's too high, sometimes the market might have a correction. So maybe what you would like to do would be to wait for more candles
Hmm.
and see if the RSI is going to decrease a little bit. So then we can call that the consolidation.
Right.
And at that point, you can maybe enter again in your position. That's kind of like what I would see on this
Mhm.
one. Mhm. All right.
Right.
So, mhm. All right. So, I guess thank you for all of those questions too. And I shared all the links in the chat. So, if you're interested to know more, to join the workshop, so there is also limited places. So, if you can, yeah, just go pretty fast just to make sure that you have a spot. And yeah, thanks again, Emmanuel, for all of that. Really awesome.
Awesome. Thanks everyone
All
for coming.
right.
Thank you.
Bye.
All
Bye
right.
bye, guys. Oof.